All right, my speech is going to be on Adolf Hitler and his war with the Jews. Baptized a Catholic, Adolf Hitler was born on April 20th, 1889, in the upper Austrian border town of Braun Inn, located about 65 miles east of Munich and nearly 30 miles north of Salzburg. His father, Alois Hitler, was a mid-level customs official. Born out of wedlock to Maria Anna in 1837, Alois changed his name to Hitler in 1876, which is a Christian name of the man who married his mother 5 years ago after birth. Alois Hitler's background would cause speculation as early as the 1920s and still present in popular culture today that Hitler's grandfather was Jewish. It's credible evidence to support the notion of Hitler's Jewish descent has never turned up. In 1898, the Hitler family moved to Linz, the capital of Upper Austria, seeking a career in visual arts. Hitler fought bitterly with his father, who wanted him to enter the Habsburg service. The relationship between Hitler and his father, such as it was, could be described as minimal, if not non-existent. Alois had been married twice before. When his second wife was seriously ill, he had an adulterous relationship with her nurse Clara, who later was Hitler's mother. He married her before Hitler was born and had an older child by her before his second wife died in 1907. Hitler lived in Vienna between 1908 and 1913. He had grown up in a middle-class family with few contacts with Jewish people. By the end of 1909, Hitler knew real poverty as his sources of income dried up. That winter, however, with a gift from his aunt, he began to paint watercolor scenes of Vienna for a business partner, and he made enough to live on until he departed in 1913. He had a personal and business relationships with Jews in that town, and he often was dependent on them for his living and his well-being. Hitler was generally influenced by two political movements. The first was the German racist nationalism propaganded by the Upper Austrian German politician George von Schneer. And the second key influence was that of Karl Luegner. When Hitler went to Munich, Germany, and when World War I began in 1914, he volunteered for service in the German army. Hitler was twice decorated for bravery, but only rose to the rank of corporal. When World War I ended, Hitler was in the hospital recovering from a temporary blindness caused by a poison gas attack, which was a common tactic that they used in World War II back then. And like I said, it caused Hitler temporary blindness. The treaty that ended the war, it stripped Germany of much of its territory, forced the country to disarm, and ordered Germany to pay huge reparations. Adolf Hitler endorsed the fall of the Weimar Republic. He held a public rally to get rid of the government of the communists of Jews. He led around 2,000 brown shirts in a rally to overthrow them. They failed, and Hitler suffered a broken and dislocated arm. Hitler's war with the Jews now stepped up in pace after he was released from prison. In April 1933, Jews were being banished from getting jobs. In 1935, laws were passed that Jews were classified as German subjects instead of citizens. German concentration camps were set up after 1933 to detain without legal procedure Jews, communists, gypsies, homosexuals, and others. Hitler had always been very straightforward about his plans for the Jews. His dream of a racially pure empire would tolerate no Jews. Death camps were set up around then, and their purpose was for killing men, women, and children. It didn't matter their age. The Holocaust represent 11 million lives that abruptly end. In the final hours of Hitler's life, Adolf Hitler declared a political testament that he left for his German people. The document was a little different from the other speeches and articles that he had previously written. He showed no remorse. He still blamed the Jews for the war that he himself started. With Germany lying in ruins after 6 years of devastating war, and with defeat closing in, he took his own life. A little after 3:30 p.m., They bit into thin glasses of cyanide, which killed his family and his children. Hitler also bit into a thin glass of cyanide, and he finished himself off with a shot to the head with a 7.65 millimeter Walther pistol, and that was Hitler's war on Jews.